your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Doing good, man. Can't wait to see these guys get back out on track, especially after last week. You know, after this race, we're halfway through the chase, so everybody's trying to get that special spot, especially here at a racetrack like Talladega. Yeah, the notes we have is qualifying at 6 p.m., but it's going to switch over to be bright and early, according to the race notes. 6:45 a.m. is the race start time, so definitely see that weather change quite a bit when we jump to that race session. Yeah, definitely is. And the other thing to note is if you look at that graphic there, you have the X with how many ever numbers or whatever behind it. That's the amount of incident points. They also have a prize for the chase driver with the fewest points at the end of the season. So if they miss a race, they're done. That doesn't qualify. But if as long as they make every race, they'll get a prize at the end of the season. Yeah, Talladega is one of those tracks that tends to cause a few more incident points than most drivers would like. Yeah, definitely going to have to work around and find some teammates here. Looks like we got a couple different teams on that front row, but definitely see what the green flag pit stops are going to bring here in a few laps. Oh, I broadcasted a race for one of the leagues we had. They had it starting at like, I don't know, 6 o'clock or so. And by the time it was ended, you could barely see the lights on the dashboard from the cars just going around. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe he put down a qualifying lap. Well, no, he did. He's minus 7 spots, so both of them put down a qualifying lap. It's going to go back to the back of the field, be a lap down. But hope for that early race caution.
Doing a mic check here. Somebody in the live chat could thumbs up here. Start of the race. Apologies for that. East car out of turn 4. Now heading to the road. Bailey going to lead us to the scene here in the Cannonball Run 250 at Talladega. Tightly bunched up here, but they're going to get rolling. The green flag is out. Bailey's going to lead this field of 16 cars, plus John Osborne starting from the pits. Off in racing here at Talladega again. It is 6 a.m. in the morning. It's going to be coming up. Cars get up to speed. A little foggy too.
You got that fog of Talladega in the morning. That outside line is pretty tight up there, working hard to push that 94 machine to the front.
Air temp and track temp 64 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment. There'll be a ton of grip for drivers that want to make moves in the middle of the pack.
Like Robert Roth tried to shoot the gap there in the middle. Got right next to Adam Boughton, decided to go back down behind Tristan Bailey. And that's going to be lap 1 completed here as they get going down the backstretch.
It's a long race. There's no reason to do anything too aggressive, and I think that was maybe what went through the 59's head there. He saw an opening, but hey, we're only on lap 2. Let's...
Yeah, definitely. Last time ECR was here was just at the start of the season back in April. They had a caution, almost caution-free race. Only had 2 cautions for 6 laps. Andrew Chapman was able to bring home the victory with Tristan Bailey and Jonathan Cogswell, though Tristan Bailey is the only driver, I believe, that's here from those top 3. So see what he can do here once he gets set up here.
A lot of momentum. That's the 3rd chase race. Our drivers starting to get a little antsy. Some big pushes coming at the front. Got a driver shoot in the middle. That's Kane Lee in the 38. He's going to get York to go with him. Not a lot of other help in the... Holding pretty steady, though, by itself, just those 2.
Yeah, spread out wide there. Those 2 in the middle are gonna try and work their way to the front, and I would assume get down on that bottom line, take the shortest way around the track. Just as I say that, York jumps to the high side.
Yeah, Lee's going to be in trouble here. Darrell Walter would call this the sucker hole. Couple drivers towards the back trying to get down there and maybe help them out, but the high lane goes straight to the front now. York jumps down in front of Bailey. Everybody else stays true to that outside lane, though, and they're going to get a big run here as the inside lane is very separated.
That inside lane, if they could get a couple more cars hooked in there tight to the front, they'd be doing all right. But the 94 slides down in front in that Amazon Prime scheme, and he is going to take the lead in that bottom line as Aaron Spear right behind him.
Fog cleared up that lap. Oh, there's it back a little bit. Clear up here as the sun is coming up. Jump on board with Bailey that sunlight looks like. I do think it is coming up over the sidewall in one. Or if it's
And you definitely see as they go down that front stretch there, just the little bumps that you hit as the throttle bounces around.
you'll see the sparks flying here. Gate as well. I could get down with it. That just means stay up all night for the tailgate.
So what is your strategy when you talk about, you know, super speedway racing? Are you one of the drivers that kind of go to the back and hope you can avoid stuff, or do you try and get out front and avoid it by being on the front end?
Yeah, I think it depends on if I've got teammates. I'm running by myself. I don't think there's enough of a guarantee that you can find a partner near the front back to stay ahead of it. I usually run back, try not to lose the draft, but try to leave my space. But in a league race like this where you've got teammates, I think you want to be with them. One, because you know they're probably not going to try. But second, because when it comes up for pit stops, you're going to need people to go with you. You're going to need to pit together without causing a wreck and have somebody draft with them. I think in a team race, I'm just going to stick with teammates, whatever they're doing. If we're at the front, then that's what.
You know, speaking of the front, two drivers that have been moving their way towards the front are that 42 and the 74. Pete Walsh and Eric McGetty started in the back of the field. They're already up 8 and, well, they were both up 8 positions there as Pete Walsh goes up another 9, up 9. So
now we've already had 4 lead changes, 8 laps, so not easy to get to the front and stay there. Out. Bottom one.
And then the commentator's curse just took effect as Eric McGetty there started riding that outside wall, and he is faded back to the back once again, riding 15th now.
Everything you can to not lose the draft. Have an instant at. Speaking of draft, Osborne, who started in the pits and pedaling that 81 car as fast as he can, he's now closer to being lapped than he is catching the field. Caution comes out before that, but they are hurry.
Yeah, I got about 11 seconds is all. And I mean, just talk about the difference in speed the draft gives you. The drivers up front are running, you know, 50s or better. Osborne running by himself is running 54, so it's not going to take long.
52, I think, is going to be okay. Been back toward the back, catching that after. Last week's winner safe here tonight, though. Riding towards the back. Biden is wrong with that at 250 miles.
Ten laps in, yeah, no, you're fine. You got plenty of time to make it back up.
Have a number of drivers on the move. Pete Walsh and Michael York have both gained 9 positions, but York has done it to get the lead. Walsh is still 7th. And Mueller also up 7 positions now as he takes the lead. Fastest lap, Brian McCall, the driver that has turned the fastest lap by a 10th over Dwayne Furtick, the second fastest lap. all still back in. So got some drivers with speed in their pocket. Might be ready to strike a little later in the race.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to be paying attention now as they are coming up on the back of Osborne there. Looks like they can't quite hold a steady line, though, on that outside lane. Inside lane also just got a little shaken up there.
The handling problem at Talladega, but maybe the cold temperatures are throwing a curveball. Drivers, I would expect to get more grip if it was cold, but
yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. These guys shouldn't be sliding around or anything, but maybe they're just getting a little bit. The runs are coming a little bit faster on the little bit colder weather.
low car on the high line. That is Osborne on a lap down, and he's going to have to pay attention here and try to jump in line with draft again. I think he caught it. He's right on the edge, though, Mike.
I think he was going to be fine, and then the car in front of him went to that high line, and he went down low, so looks like he'll be pretty close to hanging on there, so nothing too bad. Kane Lee is all over the back bumper of Kent Mueller, and Aaron Spear is not giving Kane Lee any rest as well.
Drifted up there, almost left the door open from Miller. We were just talking about the 53 with abiding his time. Well, gone to the front. Now sitting in 5th place. That 4th as Kane Lee drops back on the outside. Steve Bollinger's journey here tonight. Low as 15 and now as high as 5th. Move forward. 14 laps. Cannonball. On the front 3 are all Revolution Motorsports. Here, Miller, Mountain, 5th, and well then nice Ludi. I don't think Ludi started the race. So Alan would say, you're standing.
Yeah, it looks like he might have just started there, but let's see what happens. Southern Alliance not doing too bad.
Ridiculous. 5. Nothing gone wrong. Racing at 8. Walsh for Lone Wolf in 9th. Done. Back.
I wonder what happened to Kane Lee. Kane Lee was up there battling for the lead. Looks like he kind of got pressed out, and now he is clear back into 15th position.
Field kind of got shook up there, lost some. Halfway through a fuel run, if my notes are correct. We see tire wear. Talladega. NextGen cars sometimes out and surprise you.
Yeah, and I believe the last time we were here, the caution was brought out because of an engine failure because they were just pushing so hard. So that is something to kind of watch too, especially with these next-gen cars.
Keep it. A lot of headway though. Back. gap.
Gary Nash just. So it looks like Gary Nash just lost the draft.
Bar Mueller for 6th. Bailey Lee. Sparks are still flying. Ooh. Get into that second lane, see if it... And just like that, York dives right back to the bottom as a hole opens up. And back to the outside, that 5 car on the move. Impressive.
That 5 car looked like he was trying to dive down in line, then all of a sudden just had a little bit too much momentum to get down. Slid back up in front of Bailey, and Bailey just gave him another shove.
On the charge here as he goes 3 wide around the 94. We're on board with Michael York. Hollinger tries to come up and block him. He says, no, thank you. Look at this, Mike, all the way to the front.
York and Bailey. Bailey is just all over that rear bumper saying, you want to go? Let's go. And to the front he is.
Really calmed down there a lap ago. They're all single filed out. Now we're 2x2 all the way through the field. And here comes Osborne. We talked about it. He's a lap down. If he can get to the front, wait for a caution, then set him up to be in a forward. I think being the only car a lap down, he's anyway. That back your.
Yeah, it definitely does, as Ryan McCall moves to the outside, and he's going to try and take the lead here, as he will do just that, battling with Michael York.
Ball was not listed earlier. They've got a 1-letter difference or 1-letter capitalized or something, so grouping them together in iRacing, but McCall is while they were all riding in the back when we at team rundown, they've not now.
Down to the bottom goes Boughton and Denice.
Those two have seemed to be paired up. Ball has fallen third. Airedale. Get it done. Side. A couple cars pushing him are struggling to keep up with that big long.
They're not quite lined up like they should be in that outside line. If they can get lined up and tighten up, they can definitely move to the front. We saw what happened when Tristan Bailey was pushing Michael York there. It's the same thing that can happen on this outside line, especially if you get a couple drivers that work well together.
I just get the feeling either Lee is not committed to the 53, thinking about going around him, or they're just not taking this corner offset to really be pushing as hard as they need. With a 8. Now here comes a little bit of a run for that outside lane, and right there you can just see he's not squared up with the bumper on the 53. Could have shot around them.
Now it looked like he's almost trying to set it up for a pass and then just decides not to. When you have all three, or you have two of the Southern Alliance racing right behind him as well, so
Augie more. And on the pit lane down below.
it looked like when Bollinger came down to the bottom, like York just all of a sudden got a little bit more momentum and didn't know what he was going to do with it.
Closing in towards the end of this fuel run. I note 7 to 2. In one of those drivers out front, it might be a little less clean air. As the leader, that's gonna burn a lot more gas than.
Yeah, if this starts to turn into a fuel mileage race, look at the guys towards the back. They're kind of holding back a little bit as 38 gets a little loose there off the nose. Looked like the 88 of Gary Nash. Sounds like pit cycle is going to start momentarily here. It's, I believe the 94 is going to head down pit lane.
I always like to wait maybe for a lap and kind of cross my feet. The guys that come down the first lap get it in the track. Get a free stop. Caution and pressure of doing it green flag, but here come about a third of the field down. Fountain, Bueller, Walsh, Denise, Roth, Getty, Miller, Lee, and Spear. That a little over half the field. Ryan McCall. Back that's out there now. Osborne has stayed out. Not back.
Ooh. McCall sliding in front of Osborne there.
Coming down the backstretch here into 3, you know we got to get to the bottom if we're coming to pit road. Bailey. Everybody else
locking them up.
slide there for the 5. No speeding penalties. Everyone pit road. Be all about how does this group mesh drivers who last lap. Fountain now in need of that initial pitting pack. They are a little spread out, but they've got 3 cars packed tight together at the front. Get these other cars that are close behind. Be a good time. They are coming out of turn 4. The other drivers are still on pit road. Five car draft going. Gonna see cars down on the apron. Second group right here, and they're all gonna come together on the backstretch. Burdick and Nash for this back of that group.
Let's see if anybody's going to slide up and try and throw a block here, because they definitely have more speed coming into turn 3.
Like when they got to Osborne, they kind of stalled out. Thought they were going to fly by this front group of Bailey, York, and McCall.
Well, usually that's kind of what winds up happening is they just have so much momentum that they can just go right on by. But you're right. It looks like Osborne, they're kind of made them spread out a little bit, so they lost that momentum. They're still going to catch the back of this lead pack, but not with the speed they had before.
Already kind of all came back together. Or that did not. Walsh. Robert Roth right there behind it. Separated from the front pack by about 5 seconds. Craft together, and behind them, Lee is all by himself. Pit stop time about the same. Half second. Having sort of issue on pit road. Outside of his stall. Back, and then a couple seconds behind, still by himself. So these cars really have no way out of this. Caution to back the field at this point. Up front of cars, they're going to play all of these bows and solos.
Yeah, so with them hitting on lap 26, 27, that means they're probably going to need 2 more pit stops unless they go into fuel saving mode at some point.
Strategy line up with what we were expecting. Drivers came 6 and 7 laps. 64 to go. Nobody can make it on top. Wonder how hard people think about. Let's split this up in then stints, stops, run it dry, waiting for a caution. At the times, it looked like everyone probably took 4 tires. That long. At Talladega, you could certainly flash a finish out without worrying about tires.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody does, 26, 26, 26, that's going to leave you with a short run to the end. So maybe somebody flips it and does a little shorter run before that.
Ace drivers spread all throughout. Laps in about a third of this, folks. We're going to take our first night, which here with our next Talladega Cannonball Run 2.
Welcome back, everybody, to the ECR Cannonball Run 250 from Talladega. Not much has changed as we were away. Tristan Bailey leading that inside line. Ryan McCall in second with Aaron Spear following right behind him. Looks like Eric Maggetti's going down a lap here in that outside lane. Clear up on the wall. Yeah, trying to hang on there. Currently working lap 39. Looks like we're going to be catching a couple more lap drivers as well, as Osborne is actually leading the pack, so got his lap back kind of the hard way. See what he can do with this pack as they start to tighten up. Looks like it's the 38 there. Going to be going a lap down of Kane Lee.
Yeah, it's really tough luck for those drivers that just kind of lost the pack through the green flag cycle, and now they're stuck a lap down. And Osborne's the only one kind of taking advantage here to get back out front. That's going to leave the 42 right now in that lucky dog position if a caution were to come out.
Yeah, that is one thing that 42 has got to be kind of hoping, is that Osborne stays up there on that front end if the caution were to come out, and then he can get his lap back as well. Getting close to lap number 42 here. Gonna make his way to the front stretch here. We're gonna go ahead and take a moment of silence here on lap 42. We'll be back on lap 43. Osborne still leading that inside lane with Tristan Bailey all over the back bumper there. Looked like Colin Bollinger was clear up almost into that outside wall.
They're just having too much fun up there in that high line, flirting with the wall. Teammates of Furtick and Lee now together in that second lane, and they're going to have a whole train of cars trying to catch up there and give them a push. Now they go to the third lane and leave the middle open.
And Michael York and Colin Bollinger in the middle there.
And the 51 and 38 are teammates, but the Furtick just doesn't look comfortable there on the nose of the 38. As now they get a push from the 94 as well.
Yeah, Adam Boughton trying to make his way back towards the front. He was running up front for a little while there. Yeah, you're right. You just see Furtick just kind of bouncing all over the place there.
And now he's with the 53 in the middle. Sparks still flying. Getting everything they can. This looks like an F1 race with the sparks flying out from under the cars.
Yeah, like it's on the street course there and hitting those manhole covers and stuff.
So Osborne's still out front. And there's really no reason for Bailey to try and get around him. Bailey is actually the leader.
Yeah,
So
no, if I was Bailey, I'd be trying to save a little fuel here as well. I mean, it's not hurting anything at the moment.
So now 20 laps into this fuel run, 2/3 of the way to the next pit stop. Especially if you're on the outside lane, you're going to have to start thinking about it now to find your way down to that inside lane so you can get on pit road safely.
Getting close to that halfway mark of the race as well. Outside line finally starting to push to the front. Michael York back to the point.
And he's led laps earlier. See the up and down night that pretty much every driver has had, whether it's just moving from front to back of the pack or going through a green flag pit cycle. But pretty much every driver out there has drifted to the back of this lead pack and then back to the front at one point or another.
Yeah, just like Colin Bollinger. Oh, 12 spots now, running second as he gets passed for the lead by Gary Nash. Haven't heard that name out front in a while.
And this is always the part of the race, in my experience, where you just kind of get antsy. You know, early on you're thinking it's a long race, I'll get ready to go. Right now you're thinking, hey, we got a pit in about 5 laps. Oh, and the 42 smacks the wall. I don't know if that's a serious contact or not, but he sure smacked it.
Yeah, definitely not something you want to do here. I mean, he is a lap down, so no real harm at the moment, but still not something you want to do.
Yeah, and if we end up with a green flag pit cycle, you don't want to add seconds to your pit stop because you'll lose the draft. So even if he has damage, you're just going to have to live with it.
Yeah, you're definitely just going to have to live with it. Riding around here, we'll see kind of what happens here. Gary Nash still leading the race. Gary Nash started 5th up to the point. Was low as, looks like, well, 16th. I'm sure he was towards the back there.
Yeah, Nash not in the chase, but he's out there leading all the chase drivers right now.
And you can just see just by this graph how the race just kind of ebb and flows. You know, you're on your way up and then all of a sudden you're clear back in the back, then you're back up towards the front. Just the way these super speedway races kind of play out here.
We're about 3 laps away from these pit cycles based on when they came last time. So a lot of drivers on the outside lane, they might just be content to wait that extra lap if they get the opportunity. But if I'm them, I want to get to the bottom now. See
Yeah,
Michael
it looks
York
like
do it.
I was gonna say, it looks like most of the ones that were in that outside lane were the ones that pitted a little bit later anyway, so might not be a terrible idea just to stay up there.
The 42 doesn't look to have lost any speed. I don't think that damage, or I don't think that impact with the wall gave him too much serious damage.
Osborne slides back down in front of York on that bottom side. Tristan Bailey going to lead that outside lane. Has Ryan McCall pushing him towards the front.
Yeah, Bailey's chart looks a little bit different than everybody else's with that long bunch of laps led.
It's the point where they were kind of single filed out for quite a little while.
Laps since these leaders last pitted, and in the back they're getting 3 wide.
Robert Roth, Pete Walsh, both down pit lane. Lost a lap anyway, so they're going to try a little bit different pit strategy to get it back. Be about half the field coming to pit lane this time.
But Bailey stays out. Oh, again, a lot of drivers sliding right to that entry cone. They're going to make it. Boughton, Miller, Spear, Osborne. No, sorry, Osborne's still out there. Lee and Maggette. On pit road right now. You mentioned the 74 and the 59 pitted a lap earlier. Trying to change their luck.
I mean, you got to do something different when you're already a lap down. I mean, you know that you're going to have to make at least one more pit stop. Maybe try and figure out a better way to do it here as you are on board with Bollinger sliding into the pit lane here.
He's going to make up 3 or 4 positions just getting on pit road. 53 taking no prisoners. So it looks like the numbers are with this second group, Mike.
Yeah, if you just caught that, Bollinger had to back up into his pit stall, overshot it a little bit, so that's going to cost him a little bit of time.
And I wonder if that's what happened to Kane Lee earlier. We saw he had like 2 extra seconds on pit road. And that might have been why. And I'm looking at it right now, it looks like both. Yeah, a handful of cars there with just a few more seconds on pit lane than everybody around them. Bailey's still the leader right now. But he's going to come off pit road with York and McCall behind him. And looks like the second group going to win the battle this time around.
It almost looks like the numbers swapped between the first time they were down pit lane and the second time. The first time it looked like over half the field came down in that first group. This time, it's more the second group.
Yeah, so now we're setting up for a 40-lap run to the finish. So everybody's still got to stop one more time. But coming out of the pits right now, you're trying to find the draft, and then you're trying to catch the leaders. 3 cars at the front, all Aeon Motor Club Motorsports teams. Now they're all coming back together. The 42, though, might get hung out to dry. That is a pretty big gap. And then on top of that, Gary Nash came out all by himself. He had those extra 2 seconds on pit road.
That is what has been costly. The little bit of extra time spent on pit lane, not necessarily in your pit box, but just on pit lane. As Colin Bollinger goes to the front, Dwayne Furtick trying to go around as he goes to the outside. Doug DeNice right behind him. Ooh.
Yeah, Furtick pulls down to the inside, leaves the 40 by himself. You're starting to find out who your friends are now. And again, you can see which drivers are in the chase in that tower on your left. Anybody in the bright blue racing for a championship. And they are all kind of moving to the front at this point of the race. Lee, Osborne, both trapped a lap down. They're going to need a caution to get back in this thing. But the rest of those chase drivers getting right to the front.
Furtick takes the bottom lane after Bollinger jumps to the high side. Doug says, "Thank you, Bollinger," and slides right down to the bottom.
Yeah, you might think, hey, we're still, 40 laps and a pit stop away from the finish. Why would you make aggressive moves like this? And I think it's to learn. This is kind of a test and learn phase of what moves can I make, and if I make a move for the lead, how long do I keep it? So that when it comes down to the final laps, you know whether or not to pull that move with 3 to go, with 1 to go, or with 100 feet to go.
They're coming up on lap traffic. Lap traffic staying down on that bottom side, going to make the leaders go to the high side.
That shoots Mueller and Furtick. They split the 40 and go 3 wide. And that is not going to work for the 40 or the 8. They're both drifting to the back.
Yeah, with all that, we also have a race for the lucky dog spot between Osborne and Kane Lee, as they are right next to each other as well.
Well, I think now that they're lapping Roth and Walsh, they are the ones in that lucky dog position just now. They jump on board with York in the 5 car. Just trying to get a feel here. I mean, it sounds like he is not pedaling that thing. He's kind of lifting mid-corner, even though he's not right up on another car. The drivers maybe playing it safe, maybe trying to save some fuel. Again, nobody can make it. No one's even close to making it on without having to stop again. And there you see that sun. It is in the driver's eyes now as they come out of turn 2. So just 11 cars on the lead lap now. Oh, and York up the track into the 40 and then into the wall. That did not look, normal, almost maybe like a hardware failure or a screen freeze or something, the way he drifted up, saved it, and then drifted right back into the wall.
Yeah, it definitely looked like a hardware failure of some kind. Maybe monitor or, I don't know if he uses VR, but definitely looked like something to that effect.
So he's going to lose the draft, and that is going to derail his night. That looks like the 40 car also lost the pack from that contact. It's Doug DeNice. Riding in 9th, though, but losing the draft. Now the 94 is back up front. By now, we've had 16 lead changes through 63 laps. We've hit the 2/3 mark of the race. We're going to take our last commercial break of the night. Again, you're not going to miss anything as we go side by side, and we'll be right back for the conclusion of the Cannonball Run 250 at Talladega with the ECR and NextGen Cup Series here on SRM. And welcome back to Talladega, the ECR Cup Series. Here in the Cannonball Run 250, race number 3 in the Chase Championship postseason. Adam Boughton is out front, leading Furtick and Bailey. But it's anybody's race still. Still 9 drivers on the lead lap. 6 of them, or 7 of them, still with this lead pack. We got almost half the field now with their fingers crossed for a caution to either get a wave around or catch the draft. But we've gone caution free all day.
Yeah, definitely had one little hiccup there that might have been able to bring out a caution, but everybody was able to get by and get their cars under control, and we stayed green. 26 laps to go. We are within the pit window of the end of the race, but I'm sure all these drivers are going to stay on course and probably hang around till lap 78 or thereabouts.
Yeah, it's now almost 8 a.m. We started about 6:30 or so. Track temp has not changed that much, though. Just 66 after starting at 64. 16 lead changes with Adam Boughton still out front. And the drivers that have led those laps, Tristan Bailey with 26, Boughton with 20, then Mueller with 10, then Bollinger, York, Nash, Lee, and McCall all with a handful. But Bailey has been the driver to beat for most of the day.
Yeah, he's been up front and he's been kind of biding his time. He did have a little break there with Osborne leading the race, or leading the line as he was leading the race. So I think Robert Roth got on that outside lane, going to be on the lead lap now as well.
Still going to need a caution to close the deal, but it's nice to be out front. It's starting to get dicey here in the 3rd and 4th rows. Drivers getting very aggressive. I think you mentioned the last time ECR raced here, the only caution was an engine failure because drivers were pushing each other too aggressively without getting some air in that radiator. And that's what the 38's starting to make me worried about right now. The way he's driving up there at the front, also trying to get a lap back.
Yeah, we had more leaders this time than we did last time we were here. Tristan Bailey led the most laps last time at 32, so already doing fairly well here as well.
And this is getting pretty wild. Again, most of these drivers at the front right now are battling over the lucky dog. The leader is the 10 of Miller. They're on the outside, but the 59, the 38, the 74, the 81, they're all fighting to get their laps back.
Well, that's got to be the hard thing when you are a lap down or close to a lap down there and you're running well with all of these leaders. I mean, it kind of makes you wonder what could have been if you wouldn't have had that little mistake here or there that put you in this lap down position.
Yeah, none of those drivers lost their lap because they're slow or anything. That most of them lost their lap through that green flag pit cycle, whether they missed their pit box and lost a few seconds doing that, or they just didn't get on pit road aggressive enough. Osborne is the only one with kind of a self-inflicted wound there, as he started the race in the pits, missed the lineup for the grid.
Yeah, but how many times does a race at Talladega basically go caution free?
Yeah, I can't remember one. That's for
I mean,
sure. Man, we haven't gotten to yell out the rapid fire pizza yellow flag even once tonight.
I know saw a few rapid fire pizza cars make their way to the front.
I did notice a couple new schemes. Looks like the 53 with a Busch Light Lime. Not his usual Batman scheme.
Yeah, definitely an Adam Boughton back there behind him with the Amazon Breast Cancer Awareness October scheme.
Verdict looking the same as always with that papaya McLaren.
Papaya.
And Tristan Bailey with the classic blue rapid fire pizza scheme he's been running most of the year. Is that McCall behind him, another rapid fire pizza car. I mean, he's actually got the rapid fire on the hood. I like that.
Yeah, those foil numbers on the doors show up really well with that. I get he's stuck in the middle.
Yeah, he's 2 laps down. Been a rough night for the 42. He slapped the wall a couple times, lost the draft.
And the 5 car of Michael York came down pit lane on lap 64 after having that little hiccup there. So he is a couple laps down as well.
And all by
Or will be
lonesome.
shortly.
He is, yeah, the field is starting to catch that 5 car. You can see him way off in the distance.
Yeah, that speed difference is just crazy. I mean, he's running 175 miles an hour. Leaders are running 192.
So we're about 1 or 2 laps away from pits for our leaders. 24 laps in the books. A couple of them, it's actually already been 25 laps for those drivers that came down that first lap. But with just 18 to go, like, the pit window is open, as you said. Anytime you want to come, you can do it now.
Yeah, look for Robert Roth and Pete Walsh probably to be the first ones to come down pit lane. They last pit on lap 51, so a lap shorter than everybody else.
We're kind of back to what we saw, maybe it was 10 or 20 laps ago, with Osborne riding off the front bumper of Bailey. The 9 trying to help the 81 get that lap back. But again, if the caution never comes out, it's all for naught.
Yeah, as soon as that pit cycle starts, it's not going to matter anymore.
Another lap in the book. So we've kind of already now seen drivers go further than we've seen all night. Walsh and Roth, as you mentioned, they're the first to come down in the last cycle. They're now 28 laps in. That's 2 laps longer than we've seen anybody go, or the majority of the cars go.
Yeah, and if you're them, you're trying to hang on and hope somebody comes down with you. You don't want to be just those 2 cars again.
Again, well, there they go. It's just the 2 of them for now, and they are whipping it around the front stretch to get on pit road. I'm surprised we haven't seen a single speeding penalty tonight either, Mike. That's usually one that'll get you.
They've been flying down pit lane. We saw Colin Bollinger basically lock him up right before the line to get down to speed. Gained a ton of positions there. past 3 or 4 cars coming to pit lane. So definitely look to see if that's still a theme here when we start making our pit stops.
A little bit of a breakaway here at the front now. Bailey and McCall pushing Osborne as we've got the next group of cars coming down pit road. Boughton, Spear, Miller, Mueller.
Lee, everybody down, yeah.
So about 6 cars in that group. The 2 cars that came down early have already gone. That's going to leave another 6 cars. They kind of split it right down the middle this time.
Yeah, that has got to be one of the hardest things is what do you do?
And here they come
You know,
again.
if you're the leader.
All clean.
Well, a lot of the drivers in that first group took maybe 2 tires and a little bit of fuel. Spent less than 9 seconds in their box.
Yeah, this will be interesting. As long as everybody gets the memo, it'll be all right. But if a couple drivers don't, if you accidentally take 4 tires and lose the draft, you're going to be kicking yourself. Yeah, so Bailey, 7 seconds. He had one of the fastest pit stops as they're coming out. There were a couple cars that went longer on their stop. So Kane Lee was one of them. He had a 13-second stop instead of the 7, 8, or 9-second stop that most everyone else had. So he has lost the draft effectively. He was already a lap down, and there's a handful of cars that are kind of stuck here together, and I think all of them are a lap down and now drafting alone. And now Michael York has assumed that lap down car position in front of the leader, Tristan Bailey. And as he rides right now, he's only 1 lap down, but if Bailey goes around him, he'll be 2. But the front of the field, the leaderboard is the 9, the 90, and the 53. They've got almost 3 seconds of a gap back to the 94, who's leading the second pack.
If they can get lined up and, you know, get working together, they should be faster than the first 4 cars there, but looks like they still keep getting just enough out of line.
They have the numbers. And they've got Nash out front of them. He is currently in the lucky dog position. First car 1 lap down. And this will be the first lap time we've had since the pit stops. We'll see if that second group is gaining, and they are almost, not as much as I thought it would be. Maybe 2/10.
Yeah, 2/10, 10th and a half, maybe.
That's going to
I mean,
have
they
them
can
catch them pretty much right as the race ends. They're going to have to find a little more speed.
We can just see them bouncing around so much. If they can get that settled down and stay hooked up, they could probably gain a little bit more time here. Under 2 seconds now to the back of the 53.
I'm kind of line this up and compare the lap times between Bollinger, the last car in that front group, to Boughton, the first car in the second group, and that lap they gained about a half a second.
Getting a little bit closer.
And the 53 is in a tough spot because he's got those Aeon's teammates in front of him. No, like if he pulls out to try to make a pass, no one's coming with him. Nobody's going to help.
No, best case scenario, the 5 pulls up to block.
That really is. And the 5 is another Aeon car, even though he's a lap down or two. So you're outnumbered at the front. That second group gains another 10th. Now about 2 seconds back from the front pack with 9 laps to go.
They're going to catch him with like a lap to go.
Well, then we're going to be setting up for an exciting finish.
And this is where old school NASCAR would just magically throw a debris caution.
I thought I saw a water bottle out there. We jump on board with Aaron Spear. He's the 3rd car or 4th car in line in that second pack as they try to track down Tristan Bailey, Ryan McCall, and Colin Bollinger out front. And I don't hear any lifting now. There's no fuel saving. It's go time.
Yeah, they definitely have enough to make it to the end here.
They're making big gains that lap, Mike. The lead or the gap between those groups now only 1.2 seconds.
Yeah, now it will go away in a hurry. As they begin to sniff the draft off of that lead pack, that gap is going to decrease much quicker. Maybe half a straightaway now.
And there's a yellow flag on the track. Robert Roth has crashed. It looked like Osborne might have had some network issues at the same time. We check in on the 81. He is slow on track, as is Roth. Go see what happened there.
Oh.
Oh, did you see that? It was Osborne blinked out and disappeared in front of this group, and then Roth and I think it was Walsh got together.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, yeah,
there it is.
He's there. Gone.
Yeah, and as soon as he disappears, you can see the draft just shoves the 38 right back into Roth, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there was nothing you could do with that one. I mean, you had a network issue at just the wrong time there.
So that is going to have us re-rack, restack. I believe Mueller is going to be the lucky dog. We saw him go a lap down just a few moments before that caution came out. And now we do get to say it, the first and only rapid fire pizza yellow flag we've seen so far. But old Larry Mack would remind us that cautions breed cautions. And now there's no reason to be patient. You've got to get to the front, and you got to do it fast.
Yeah, we're going to have, what, 4 laps, maybe? Probably closer to 3.
I think it's 2 to go right now. As there goes Mueller getting lucky dog wave around. So yeah, it should be 4 to go. Maybe only 3. Laps are counting down quick. And a handful of drivers actually did hit pit road here. Starting with a 94.
Four fresh tires, full of fuel.
Yeah, I mean, I guess why not? If you need a little boost, tires.
I mean, it's not. I mean,
all you've got.
It didn't really do anything. I mean, he's in 6th. I mean, not going to hurt anything.
Yeah. So now 8 cars on the lead lap. And 7 more, 1 lap down. Been 20 lead changes now, and now just 1 caution here on lap 90 of 94. Closing in on the end of the Cannonball Run 250. And as a reminder, of the point standings of when we came in here tonight, Tristan Bailey is the leader. And he's been leading laps most of the night. He's out front right now. He could extend this lead, especially as Tyler Burden not in the race tonight. So he's kind of missing the opportunity to gain significant ground on Bailey. Boughton there in 3rd. And then next week we're off to Texas before Phoenix and then the championship at Auto Club. All 3 of those tracks are elbows out, you know, throttle mashed as hard as you can get it type races. It's going to be a fun, exciting finish to the season after this exciting finish tonight at Talladega.
It definitely is. Tristan Bailey took the high side. Ryan McCall on the bottom. Bollinger Miller, row 2, row 3. Dwayne Furtick and Adam Boughton there.
I don't think we've seen just a little bit of damage here and there, but I don't think we've got many repairs. John Osborne, the only driver really making any repairs tonight. But that might have actually, it says repairs. That might have actually been when he got held on pit road at the start of the race, being counted as repairs because it was longer than a regular pit stop. But so I don't think anybody has picked up any damage here tonight.
Not enough to matter, I don't believe. Or if they did, they got it fixed and got back out on track pretty quickly.
And taking a look at our fastest laps of the race, Bollinger has the fastest with a 49 flat. Dwayne Furtick, Gary Nash, John Osborne, and Ryan McCall all close behind. So keep an eye on that 53. He's got the speed. And then in terms of laps led, Tristan Bailey has dominated almost twice as much as Boughton in 2nd place on this list. Continuing to lead as we come back to green. Pace car is in. It's going to be 3 laps to go when they hit the line. Field getting a little bit of an accordion effect going as they trying to get all lined up and ready to rock. Green flag is out. Tristan Bailey leads him to green. He's got Aaron Miller close behind, but Miller already thinking about diving to the bottom. Sticks with Bailey for now. Brings the 94 with him. Now the 10 to the bottom.
Yeah, what do you do if you're... Oh, loose.
Yeah, some contact there as the Miller got too hard of a push in the middle of the corner. Now the outside lane with a huge head of steam. Bailey, Boughton, DeNice. York is in there. He's a lap down, but he is trying to push some teammates. Bailey drops to the bottom.
Yeah, the 40 and the 5 both lap down, but trying to help get Adam Boughton out there to the lead. Tristan Bailey leads him on the bottom side. Down this long front straightaway to the start finish line. 2 to go.
And now you can see when they're pushing 3 and 4 cars deep, it's really easy for that third car to get squirrely and get mismatched on the bumpers right there. You see the 53 kind of kick out. Lose McCall's bumper. You should be seeing a third lane going here before long as well. That's going to be the only way to get to the front if you're in the back.
Yeah, Kent Mueller, the only one out there trying it. That outside lane, though, has almost all of the drivers who are a lap down pushing Adam Boughton here. White flag's going to be in the air as Tristan Bailey is going to lead him here. White flag is out. Next flag will end the race.
And the outside lane just lost all the momentum. But there's a pretty big gap in there, and now they're going to spread out. Everyone trying to get a run down the backstretch for the final time at Talladega. Miller, Bollinger getting a run on the high side. The 10 gets forced kind of out of that outside lane. He's in the middle, then to the bottom. Hoping Bailey's going to give him a push, but it's Boughton and Bollinger up high. Bailey almost loses it as they come around the front stretch. About a football field to the finish. Boughton to the bottom on Bollinger. 3 wide. I think the 53 took it.
53 by mere inches. Bumping and banging, coming to the line. Tristan Bailey hoping they'd get a little more contact there, and he's going to come in a hard luck third.
So the 53 takes his second win in a row after last week's win at Kentucky. And he has all the momentum going here in the middle of the chase. Now it's time to pop a few Busch Light Limes for that 53. He's going to burn it down on the front stretch.
Just kind of hung around there till the end of the race and was able to hang on by, I mean, what, not even a splitter?
Getting it done.
Yeah, you know.
Hey, if there's still rubber on the tires, there's still burnouts to do.
I mean, it's Talladega.
And yeah, that was a long, hard-fought race as well. Let's see if we can get some of these podium drivers up in the booth. Well, it looks like we do have Adam in the waiting room already, so we'll go ahead and pull him in for you, Mike. Coming home in P2, the 94 of Adam Boughton. You got a copy?
Yes, do.
Hey, man, well, heck of a race there. Led some laps, was right there at the end. What were your thoughts when when the only caution came out?
When that caution came in, I thought we were done because with the way we were all lined up, we were catching the lead pack, and I think we would have it would have been a hell of a battle if the caution didn't come out with the catching that lead pack the way we were catching them. But then with the caution coming out, we kind of figured we were going to roll a few green white checkers at that point. So, but took a gamble and came in, topped off, took tires for the first time all race, and was able to hang in there. Got a good run and was able to hook up with the 53 there, pushed him to the lead, and then just falls short right at the line.
Yeah, definitely. That was probably one of the closest finishes we've had all season as you guys have been battling it out. You do make up a couple points on Tristan Bailey. Maybe they're tighten up that champion chase. How do you feel going into the final 3 races now?
Well, we got some momentum going, so that's always a plus. It's gonna be it's gonna be interesting the next 3 races because they're completely different from one another. Because we got Texas next week, then we go out west for Phoenix with some short track racing, and then we stay out there for Auto Club to finish the season. So we got 3 very different tracks coming up to finish off the season.
Definitely do. Well, anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Well, shout out to you guys for putting on an awesome broadcast each and every week. Shout out to my RMS teammates. We all worked pretty well together. We all led. I think majority of us all led some laps tonight, and overall we had a solid performance.
Definitely. Well, congrats again on your P2 finish, and we'll see if we can talk to you next week.
Thank you. You guys have a night.
Next up, going to be number 9 car, Tristan Bailey. Brought it home 3rd tonight. Tristan, you got a copy?
What's up?
Well, how about that? I mean, you led 44 laps. You were out there for a while, too. Just kind of when you were leading, you went ahead and led 20 laps at a time. Talk us through your night.
Kind of like iRacing Super Speedway. Wish the caution didn't come out. But it was all right. I just need to keep finishing top 3, top 5, be consistent, and I think I'll be all right with that, honestly. I mean, the win is not everything. Wish I could have got the win, but top 3 ain't bad.
Certainly not. When you come in with a points lead, you kind of, as long as you don't have a disaster, you got to feel good about it. I know you said you were hoping the caution wouldn't come out, but we were watching the lap times. That second pack was probably going to catch you with about a lap or 2 to go. Did you have a plan to throw a block, or what were you going to do when they got there?
We was managing the gap. I was watching the gap, and I would let off York, and wow, that's a voice crack. Letting off York to get the car cool, and I see him gain a little bit, and we'd push really hard. I was get a little gap, so I wouldn't overheat, and I'd push again, and we just kept it consistently. I don't think they would have called us. It'd been really close if they did, but yeah, pretty much York was gonna stay on the bottom there, and me and Ryan was gonna block the other 2 lanes. So it would have been interesting if they would have called us, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of counting the teammates up there. You guys had it covered for whatever's going to happen, and then this comes out 53 able to snag it away from you. But congratulations again on the podium finish. Again, you came in as the points leader, so a pretty good day overall. And who else you got to thank for tonight's race?
Just my team and you guys broadcasting, Adam, for the league we produce through here for all of us to come run on Saturday nights, and just everybody as a whole, I guess, for keeping a clean race. It was really clean.
Yeah, as impressive as always, ECR keeps it clean, even with the hard racing in the middle of the race and all the green flag pit stops. Not a single speeding penalty, and really no contact between cars. So always love to see that. And congratulations again. We'll see you out there next week at Texas.
All right, man. Thank you.
I don't see our race winner in the Discord at the moment, so
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think he jumped on last week either.
either way, we'll take a look at his journey tonight. Started as low as 15th, worked his way up, and then bounced around the top 10 the whole race. Only led 8 laps, but the last one was one of those 8. So congratulations to Bollinger. We'll have to wait and see how the points get updated here, but we'll bring that to you next week at Texas here at the ECR NextGen Cup League. And with that, we'll take a look at our final race results it is Colin Bollinger taking home the win, then Adam Boughton and Tristan Bailey on the podium. Ryan McCall, Kent Mueller rounding out your top 5, then Dwayne Furtick, Aaron Miller, Aaron Spear, Michael York, Doug Denice, apologies, Kane Lee, John Osborne, Robert Roth, Pete Walsh, Gary Nash, Eric Maggette, and then Anthony Ludi is on the board, but he did not start the race. And any other final thoughts before we close this one out, Mike?
Not really. Definitely going to tighten up the points as far as the drivers behind Tristan Bailey, as Adam Boughton, Colin Bollinger all had good days, and Tyler Burden was not here tonight. So definitely going to be a tight race, at least for P2. If Tristan Bailey can keep it up, he's kind of got that nice little cushion there. But we'll see what happens when we head to Texas.
Yeah, so thanks again for tuning in, everybody out in YouTube. Thanks for keeping us honest on the mic problems and letting us know we got it sorted out there in the middle. And we'll see you again next week here on Sim Racing Media with the ECR Cup League at Texas.